What's up, everybody on the YouTube channels? Not channels, just mine. Right now, we are live with 4,200 people in the chat. I promise you I didn't get hosted by both of OpTic's biggest streamers. I just got it we're already turning around. We're turning the numbers around already. Look at all these guys. Look at all these guys in the chat. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen Vision, it went out yesterday as you're watching this, today as recording this. Spoiler alert if you haven't already seen it. At the very end, I announced that this is my last Vision. A few questions that I'm going to go ahead and answer. There's no Damon interview in this Vision because they were going through contract negotiations this entire week, which is why Hex and I we put off our interviews until literally last night. Hex and I did our interviews last night. I edited all of Vision last night. So everybody who's been asking me how Vision's been going over the past 2 weeks, I've been lying to you, saying it's going well because I haven't started. Did an interview Formal as well because I feel like I know Formal well enough when it comes to this kind of stuff that he barely wanted to do it while he was in OpTic. So when he's out of OpTic and trying to scrim and prove that that this new LG squad can make shit happen. Apparently there's a pop in the chat. The YouTube people, they don't care. The YouTube guys don't care. If you guys keep a pop counter, I'm gonna be pissed. So I actually did not ask Formal if he wanted to do an interview. So it's probably my fault, but I'm fairly positive he would not have wanted to. So those are pretty much the two biggest things that everybody's been asking. Definitely a lot about you did not add a fucking command, Reese. You didn't. I refuse to believe it. So we're all just kind of chilling together. You guys are chilling with me, and I'm in the past, and all these guys I'm chilling with in the present are also in the past. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's just a big party, time traveling party. So here we go. The last Vision that I will be editing, Season 4, Episode 15, Finale 4.
The most turbulent year that OpTic has ever experienced in its history.
Y'all want to know what question I asked Hex right here? I said, "Yo, so talk a little bit about the Gears team." And he goes, 2018 is a turbulent. I'm turning it down, guys. I'm turning it down. I was like, damn, I might as well not even ask questions.
You know, when Nate left, there was a little bit of that as well. But Nate was an internal. He was a player. He was a member. He was like OpTic. These external factors that are happening to OpTic right now is what's becoming a little bit of an issue for me personally. The good thing and also the bad thing is that I'm not going through this alone, right? Like there's sort of this discord amongst like us. But nonetheless, right? It is a choice that I made. It is a choice that I do not regret making. Yeah, I disagree a lot with some of the decisions that they're making, and I can. The only bad things that are happening in my life right now are certain decisions that I advised against, they're still being made, which is fine by me. You know, they're the ones that are suffering. Yeah, I get in the line of fire, but you know, deep down, I know that the majority of the people understand that it's not my decision and it's by choice. Okay, like people seem to think that I'm
not a lot I can actually talk about.
That I don't have control over my own realm, and that is incorrect. 2018 was supposed to be the
one thing that I can say. Very, very, very difficult. Being like one of, I guess, Hex's closest buddies within OpTic. It's very, very difficult to like watch him get attacked by people that just like don't. I don't know. Like people. A common thing is, and I don't know if it's people just like going for the throat and they want to hit your soft spot, because there are people like that. They're just like, wow, you saw an opportunity and you took the money and run. Well, like in reality, like OpTic was the biggest before anybody. Hex could have took the money and run 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like it got to a point. I feel like it's obvious they're beating a. I don't even know what I was about to say. Beating a dead horse. When you explain it, but people forget how bad of a spot OpTic was really in. You know, the contracts that are floating around in esports, like there's no way that the way OpTic was being run, that they could have afforded to buy out those players' contracts. Like it's on another level, and I think OpTic, in my opinion, I don't know anything, but from my understanding is that OpTic was like the last team to get involved, or like everybody else did some sort of big time deal / partnership / investment deal, like every other company. So that's why it was impossible for OpTic to keep up. And plus, like if you look at the content side of things, like everything was slacking. Like the Scuff House was stale. All our esports players weren't doing content anymore, and it was just like, what do you need to do in order to keep OpTic alive? And that's what Hex did. So whenever I see little kids like going at his throat for that, I'm just like why were you even a fan in the first place? Like, I don't know.
Year that I went super hard on my vlog, and then I really capitalized on the opportunity, my freedom, right? I no longer have to look over 25 to 60 people. And I figured that this was gonna be the time for freedom. And I talked about it in my vlog. I said, when this thing was about to get the seal of approval, everybody put their signatures to paper. I was happy. People were just like, oh, cool, we have so many more resources, we're gonna be good. When I signed that, I knew that I was gonna say, all right, I'm gonna take 6 months off. I'm not gonna deal with anything that has to do with anything. Content for me has been a series of up and downs, like the rest of my year. Which makes
perfect sense. I feel like he didn't really like talk in detail about what that meant. In his brain, he ran OpTic for 10 years. Somebody comes in and says, hey, we have a whole team of people that can do what you've been doing for 10 years. And now you can chill. That's the best deal ever. That's the best thing to ever happen. And so he says, I'm going to take 6 months. I'm going to do me. I'm going to upload videos. I'm going to do what I wanted to do getting into this industry. And he didn't think that, you know, like anything would go down in 6 months. I don't think any of us did. But that's when, you know, there were a few situations where people didn't see eye to eye already. And so then he was like, man, I was expecting to take 6 months of just grinding so that I could upload every day. And that's why he made the tweet and everything. But he was not thinking that as soon as he made that tweet, a month and a half down the line, you know, I would get vocal on Twitter, which, you know, has definitely run its course. We don't even think about that anymore. And then, you know, and then different esports people are going to get vocal on Twitter, and the fans, you know, they go to Hex. And so he's just like, fuck, now I don't know what to do. So If I'm sure some of you guys did understand what he was saying, but if you didn't, that's
because every single time that something went wrong, and it's my fault because I wasn't as transparent as I could be, but I don't know how to be transparent without throwing people under the bus, and I cannot do that. Okay, I wasn't raised that way. I didn't grow up in an era where that was acceptable. But every single time that something went wrong with OpTic, like my vlog would suffer. Like there'd be dislikes that had nothing to do with, there'd be external factors that were affecting my creativity or my vlog or my daily life that the vlog didn't deserve. So it's been a little bit of up and down. Just recently, however, I just got office space finally. If you guys follow my vlog, you guys would see that since the moment that we got to Dallas, Texas, and I saw the place that we're going to be working out of, I knew that it wasn't going to work as a, we couldn't have creative, which is what we do, and we couldn't have corporate in the same place. And the reason that you can is it's logical for me. It's something that it just makes sense. When you have people that are coming to work to work on graphics, they're coming to work on contracts, they're coming to work on literal corporate stuff. And when I say corporate, I don't want you to attach a negative connotation to it. It's just corporate. It's a business, right? There's people that support said business. But when you bring in creatives, all right, when you bring in, Jack, when you bring in Midnight, when you bring in people, and all they're doing is walking in and going into a studio and laughing their asses off, having the best time of their lives because their jobs are that amazing, that cool. Some people may not understand that, and then it causes this little sort of thing that was happening to me at my last job at AIG, right? I wanted to do something else. I didn't want to be doing the job that I was doing in that very specific moment. So
yeah, it's like Hex told me this personally at the Scuff House. He was like, I think they're trying to do this, and they can't do that. You can't have corporate and creative in the same spot. And I was just kind of like, okay, like, what do you mean? And then we got there, and I was hired on to the corporate side, so I didn't really know what was going to happen. I thought it was just like I was going to keep doing what I've been doing, but then you find out like the corporate people, like they have hours that they have to be there, and they have to be there from certain hours throughout the entire day, and it's literally corporate. You have a boss, you have somebody you report to, and you basically just do what you're supposed to do, and then you go home. And that's how like a lot of people, it's just business. Like it's just literally just a business place. And so I wasn't prepared for that, and I think that was a lot of the like miscommunication when I first started, because I was under the impression that I was going to do exactly what I've been doing, and now I'm doing absolutely nothing like what I was doing. So it's like a job. LMAO, so a job. Yeah, no, I'm like over analyzing it, but I'm just saying. Then it makes more sense. It's crazy that Hex had like the like the sight to see that that far in the future. I don't know, because when he said that, I was like, what, there's going to be like 4 people in corporate, like it's not going to be that big of a deal. But I didn't know there's going to be like 400. But it makes sense. So yeah, I'm super excited about Hex's spot, and then also No Scope might be coming in clutch with some foresight. That's what I was looking for, Sparky. I appreciate that. No Scope might be coming in clutch with a pretty nice spot. So I'm excited.
I became a space cadet. I would be daydreaming every single day. So I immediately said, I'm gonna look for my own space. It wasn't gonna be quick enough for this thing to have a creative space for us to do what we needed to do. So I went off on a quest, and that quest has finally been fulfilled. I have office space, a collaborative space that I've been looking for since November of last year. So it's been like an ongoing process, like 6 months in the making, and finally it's here. A place where people can come in and just do their thing. My personal podcast is going to be ran out of there. Still deciding if it's going to be daily or 3 times a week, but it is not going to be once a week podcast. It's going to be 3 times a week minimum. I have other things in the works that are going to, in my opinion, in my very, very confident opinion, are going to fill a gap in esports that is currently not being met. So I'm excited to continue.
Flycast,
to do
yeah, I think the Flycast is going to be there too. And I think it's going to be a permanent setup.
Brand, so with that sort of power, with that sort of opportunity, elevate everybody else around them, because that is what I do. That's what I am the expert at. Don't make me name names as to who they have become under my tutelage.
Guys, I literally recorded this.
Honestly, probably the best month of
I
my
recorded
life.
that interview
I'm
like
to be happier with how things are going, not only for
18 hours ago.
the stream and the YouTube side, but the improvements that we're making on the kind of OpTic gaming side, and obviously now getting my casting with Fortnite. It was
Amanda,
good.
you need a
Obviously, I think the highlight of it all was
steal a visa
casting
from
the
somebody.
Vegas 18 event, which had 680,000 viewers. I can't believe my first time casting Fortnite was in front of that audience. It was an honor to be part of. Again, I've spoken so much about it, and it's like beating a dead horse at this point. But man, that was cool. That was really cool. And obviously,
I'm so fucking happy for Jack, man.
We took a few days off for my birthday from streaming, which I need to learn not to regret, because I need to find
the way
balance.
Jack does this shit is unreal.
Right now I'm like, damn, think of all the Twitch Prime subs I threw away. I've been having fun. We're at about 60 straight days of uploads on my YouTube channel too. So if you haven't subbed up over there, youtube.com/CourageJD.
I'm not gonna.
Got a plug. You like that?
I'm not gonna like tell you what he does. Because he was like sharing like different like things that like different ways to network and stuff online. I don't know if he's like trying to keep it a secret, so I'm not gonna share. But this fool does not stop. He never stops. I hope Jack doesn't burn himself out. I told Jack not to burn himself out when I was daily vlogging and he was streaming Black Ops 3. He doesn't burn out. I burn out. He doesn't ever. He's a freak. Because when he's done streaming, he's talking to his editor about what to upload. And when he's done doing that, he's uploading clips to Instagram, and he's tagging. He's using the same. I don't want to say that. He's tagging Fortnite streamers, and so they can use it on their Instagrams, and then he tweets out clips so that people retweet his clips, and then he gets more followers, and like that's why Jack went from being Call of Duty caster to I'm best friends with Ninja. Like,
plug boy? Yeah.
By one. Oh no, they're not.
Did you see that guy?
Oh my gosh, Courage.
So what Ninja did? Yeah.
I cite this guy on the top right that I'm actually my own father. My dad is explaining to do.
Courage is playing 4D chess.
Keep your ramp down. It's okay. It's okay.
How does he save that? How did that even just happen? I've watched this 10 times and I don't understand how he did that.
Good build. Perfect.
Mm.
You're playing like a god right now, dude.
Dude, Jack's editor is so good.
Give him that energy.
He's actually entertaining. Yeah, he is.
Did he win? Oh, okay, hold on. My win is my perspective is delayed. Okay, so you have to give me a second here.
Pterodactyl announcement because the flight was canceled. Pterodactyl was announced on Twitter. I didn't even know she was joining OpTic until the day before. Look at Gil right here. Bah! Fuck that chair up. Roger filmed this. I sat at this black screen for a solid 25 minutes. I was like, I know what I want to say. I don't know how to say it though. This placing marks the worst result in OpTic Gears of War history. That's right, isn't it? That's a pretty good sentence. Yeah? I don't know. I had no idea.
losing every single fight. We were not winning any fights, and we weren't even able to like really help each other because we weren't really winning anything. So that first dam, we lost 7-4, 7-3.
It's fine.
And then we went on to a Forge Blitz, which, like I said, is our worst map. And
yep, 4th place is their worst placing
on that, from what I remember, and
ever.
That knocked us out of the tournament.
Leading up to the event, we were very confident, like just like any other event. We didn't have much like issues, I guess, like not internally, but like in game wise. So we were really confident, but we just like didn't show up at all that event.
Dude, I love the Gears team, Filthy.
Every side station match, like we couldn't like mesh and like work as a team like we used to, right? So like
I think this is the only vision I've ever made where like I don't show any gameplay. Like that gameplay like is the only tournament gameplay I have in this entire vision, and it's a 51-minute vision. I don't even think there's any Dota gameplay in Roger's section. I don't know. I just like realized that because like I was backtracking on all of these. I had no idea how I was going to tackle the COD section. Then I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to do it all in 10 seconds.
Going into Sunday, like we're going to play on main stage. We played United, 2 of them. Played Echo Fox 2-1. Pretty convincing tiebreaker map. It was like 7-1, 7-0. So we were really confident on main stage. Just like when it came to side station, I don't know what it was, but we just didn't mesh. And like
he seemed sad.
Everything we worked for just wasn't there, and like
well,
that's how we ended up losing that event.
I mean, that's kind of how all Billy's interviews are. He's just really soft spoken, but I mean, he says it in the interview. He genuinely really likes, Kenny, as do all of us. Really sucks, man. I like sometimes you don't even know there's issues. Like I've known about the COD issues. Anyone who's like ever been around any of the OpTic COD team, they've known about the issues for like 2 years. But I've hung out with these guys and I never even knew they had issues. Roger texted me and said, the Gears team is changing. And I was like, the Gears team? The one that won every event ever? That team? Sad, man. I guess you'll just never know what it's like teaming with somebody. Like, because I'll hang out with all of these guys individually. What the stabilization on that shit? What happened there?
I don't know. We went through some days of not speaking to each other. I was still in Vegas for like a day afterwards, and I went to my girlfriend's in Denver, and I know that we all like kind of came back and were doing our own things. No one really,
man.
Ready to talk about the loss or anything like that. After about a week, we had a couple conversations in Discord, and then 1 or 2 through DMs. There are problems that have been there that people felt like needed to be addressed after losing. And from there, some more conversations happened, some more arguments happened, and the decision to release me is what came out of it.
This team has always made its own decisions because they are the ones that are in the front lines. So when the Gears of War team decided to get rid of Kenny, it sucked because I really like Kenny, but at the same time, I also like the rest of the guys. And it's just one of those things where you have to step away and let that talk it out. They talked it out.
The moving box
over and over.
Johnny, I'm glad you said something. Sam said something about it too today. His moving boxes were on the other side, and I was like, I'm purposely gonna put it behind him, just to add the sense of Jesus. Like this dude fucking lives out here playing video games. He got dropped on a team because of an argument, and he has to move.
Over and over and over again. It wasn't a decision that they made lightly.
What happened with Kenny was pretty much like a repeat of what happened with Lava, I guess. After we lost second event or third event last season, that's when we made our roster change. And it's not because we just lost, but like internally, like nobody could get along. Well, not like nobody, but like obviously like Kenny with some other players, and it just came to the point where it's like almost unplayable to play with. And it was, we've had these problems before as a team, like us 5, but we never like came to a conclusion, like make a roster change and move on or whatever. But it got even worse, and maybe the loss did affect a little bit, but at the end of the day, like it just couldn't happen anymore.
And it sucks because, you know, Kenny for me is was just like everybody else on the team, like super swell dudes that I like to hang around with, super cool guys and good at the game that I felt they were right to represent the brand the way that it should. But situations like that will always occur. This isn't the first time, and it's certainly not going to be the last time that a change happens within a team that people don't agree with. But it is not. I don't even have to agree with it, and they're still going to make that change. They're the ones on the front lines. I don't know better than them. Analysts don't know better than them, because all the analysts see are people that are competing. They don't see the chemistry that's happening within. They don't see the little arguments. They don't see the little disputes behind closed doors. They don't see any of that causes that causes ripples in the relationship or the chemistry of the team. We will never know that, man, as much as they know. As such, you have to step back and respect the fact that they're the ones that are going to make those decisions from here till the end of time.
I don't really want to get into any of the issues or go too deep into what went wrong or the arguments or any of that stuff. I said this on Twitter before. I kind of just want to move past this.
Making the roster change definitely wasn't the first thing that came to my mind. Like after we lost the event, like that's the last thing I wanted, honestly. Like I teamed with Kenny since I was, for years now, but I've known him since I was like 10 years old, almost half my life. Like he's like one of my favorite teammates ever. Like he's a really good teammate, and out of game, everything. So definitely heartbreaking, like losing Kenny, but it was done. It had to be done. So obviously we're gonna have to pick up a new fifth. Kane's a really good player, so it's gonna be hard to replace him, I guess. But
please don't compare me to Roger.
We always
don't compare Roger to me.
We always got things done, so we're gonna try our work our best to get a really good fifth. Hopefully, like top tier 1 player, right? So definitely working with that, and then once that's done, we're gonna get back to scrimming. Try to win every event from here on out. Just like last season, we lost 3rd event, came back and won every event after. So that's the plan again.
Y'all want to know some crazy shit? So Kenny signed with Echo Fox. There's a possibility that Echo Fox versus OpTic in the next Gears of War event might be the most rivalry-based match that I've ever heard of. So Kenny is going to Echo Fox. Kenny's teammate, God Plays, is the guy who punched Icy in the tooth and knocked his tooth out. And then Icy, obviously like destroyed him at that LAN, the same LAN. And now God Plays is unbanned. So they drop Kenny. Kenny joins Echo Fox. The guy that, I don't know, it's like either Praise or Solars. I don't know. They all kind of run together. Like all the Gears guys because I don't really know Gears that well. It's kind of like CS. I don't really know CS that well. But one of the guys that is a potential person that they're going to pick up as their 4th is benched on Echo Fox because he really hates one of the other guys on Echo Fox. This is what Kenny told me. So if they pick up that guy, Solar and Praise got benched. Which one is it? Praise that has issues with other people on Echo Fox? It might be. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to spread rumors. But so in this situation, Kenny, I don't want to say his like personal situation, but he's not best friends with anybody, on OpTic. Like he told me to interview Billy because Billy was the most neutral. So it's like everybody kind of butt heads, and Kenny's really fucking good. So when Kenny gets dropped, what? So Kenny's going to go ham at everybody on OpTic. Then God Plays is going to go ham with Icy. Like they're going to go back and forth like crazy. And obviously everybody on OpTic is going to go back and forth with Kenny because there's a reason, internal problems, they dropped him in the first place. And then if they pick up this other guy, I don't know his name, I'm really sorry, and he has issues with fucking Echo Fox, it would literally be like a 5-way rivalry and it would just get lit. If you know Gears. Sorry I explained that so bad, but good God. Like I'm trying to go to that, basically. This is an awful explanation. I know, but you know what I'm talking about.
Give a thank
Do
you
you?
to everybody who's
Gears
supported me
burner.
over the past 2 years, and anyone from OpTic that's opened the door for me at the Scuff House, and Hector, Hitch, Aaron, Jay, you name it, all of you guys down the list.
I'm really sorry if you're a Gears fan and you had to listen to that.
Appreciate
It sounded like my
everyone
Prime
that's been here.
Scriber thing.
Or me getting dropped is obviously not my choice, but
Prime Scriber button.
Before I did so, I just want to
There's-
give a thank you to everybody.
God
for
plays
supporting me.
icy Tooth
Gonna
Knocker.
continue to compete on
and
Gears,
he
but
was
being a part of OpTic
on
is
the
something
other
I'm gonna
team.
miss, and being here with everybody is something I'm gonna miss. So, with that, I want to say maybe see you later, goodbye, or anything like that. But I have to go for now.
I have to go for now.
That's it.
That shit hit me when he said it. Fun fact, I was watching, Sam hadn't seen Vision, so we were watching it like as it was streaming. We were watching it on the computer, and that shot popped up, and she looked at me and she said, "Roger's so good." I was like, thanks. But yeah, I mean, he is fucking amazing. Literally, she hadn't said anything the entire video. She hadn't said a word. And she just looks over and, Roger's so good. I was like, I'll go fuck myself too, I guess.
So for OpTic Dota, we've been on the Dota grind. It's
My man, Peter.
It's a grind that pretty much
I say
never
my man,
stops.
we've talked once,
We
but
have
he's
been
my man.
traveling the last
I can
3
tell.
months on
We'd
the
be
road
friends.
For, I think, minimum of
I saw Zion CVS. I already told my stream this, but it's going to on YouTube. Roger and I went to go get batteries at CVS. We were checking out, and all we hear is, "Hi guys," behind us. And I turned around, and it's Zai. Kind of fell in love, just a little bit.
6 of those weeks, maybe more. And then when we do have time at home, that's when all the qualifiers schedule on top of each other. For us
I'm
to
fairly
play. So
positive
those, days off.
Zai
back
could
at
turn
home
Ashley.
Usually
Like,
result in about
19%
2 to 3
positive.
official matches a day, so 6 to 10 hours of Dota pretty much. And in order to stay on the top and get to the top, which we're trying to do, you got to put in more effort than the other guy. So we've been overclocking it and putting maybe 12 hours a day, as many times as we can. So in Ukraine, we were in Kiev. It was a really cool city. It was my 3rd time there. It was my 3rd Star Ladder. We didn't explore too much per se. I've explored a little bit more on my previous trips, but we were pretty focused on winning and just doing well at the tournament. I think we were pretty regularly going out to eat, trying new restaurants, trying new food. And I would walk around in the morning because I'm on that old man sleep schedule. So I'd be up at like 6 or 7 trying to find a coffee shop that was open and just kind of walking around and experiencing it all. I love living in the city, so it's really cool to see all the hustle and bustle. We were right in the center. It's a good time to start doing better. Hopefully we can qualify to TI. But we went to the 2 tournaments in Poland and Romania, and we did
Roger's
pretty
about to
well.
freak
We got,
out, man.
12th at ESL, maybe some bad bracket luck, and then we got top 8 again at Romania. Which
Okay, not sure what people have been saying. That not sure why the Dota piece was included in the Vision, and I feel really fucking bad for Roger because this piece is super good. But this piece, he was ready to make it as soon as he got back. I don't know why 17 didn't get a part riddled. That's what I'm saying. That's why I basically stopped Vision, because I don't know what's going on anymore. You know what I mean? Like if I heard that 17 got dropped like 15 minutes after it happened. So like I can't prepare for that for Vision. You know what I mean? Which is like kind of plays into everything that's going on. The piece is really good. Didn't fit the episode, but it's still like, it's still important, man. It's still like really important to have Dota as the first championship we have in Dota. We have to. Like people keep saying they want Dota, and this is it. And then people get Dota. This is how I know that Reddit is like a super vocal minority, because I'll go on Reddit and I'll be like, holy shit, everybody hates me. Or I used to. And then it's the same thing happens. Like I'll go on Reddit and I'm like, oh my God, OpTic is a Dota team. Like it's a Dota organization because they love Dota that much. But then as soon as Dota comes on the screen in the Twitch chat, it's just like, oh my God, you are a fucking terrible human. I wish you were never born. Like, you know, like people were like spamming fuck Roger. I was like, what? This is fucking amazing. I don't know. I thought it was a really good section. And like, look at this. Like if you don't like have any interest in Dota, then just watch this and just imagine how like Roger's going to crush it in season 5. You know what I mean? Because like, imagine this as fucking Octane or Scump. I was trying to think of what other esports teams we have. Oh, this as Icy.
We also played against the eventual winners in the first round of a single elimination.
I was like Halo, CS:GO.
So that was a little bit unfortunate, but
CS is overseas, so he can't shoot CS.
Really good teams and fans alike started to see that we
play
were
for 20 mil.
Yeah, guys.
20 million.
BAC, which was just a couple weeks ago, we ended up getting top 8 once again. Unfortunately, we weren't able to advance farther than that. But we took a lot of games off some teams, and we were pretty close to winning our group, which was quite the accomplishment for us. So throughout all of these tournaments, we've had a ton of practice up against all of the international teams, and it's really helped us grow a lot and expand our strategies and our hero pool and our level of play. So coming into Star Ladder, which was a minor, it had a little bit weaker teams because a lot of the top
my
teams
boy
have
right now,
already
guys.
secured enough DPC
That's my
points
boy.
to qualify themselves to TI, where a minor wouldn't really have that big of impact on them. So a lot of teams didn't go. So it was a really nice opportunity for us to prove that we were, a top tier team. Not necessarily better than, your Virtus Pros, your Team Liquids, LGDs, those guys.
I think Sam got so drunk.
What?
She's gonna get really pissed that I'm telling you this. Sam got so drunk that I think she kissed Hypoc on the cheek. I looked over, I was like, my man.
I don't know if we were expecting to win. I guess people thought we were at the top 3 or 4 probably of the teams.
I've never heard 33 speak
thought we could
before
win.
this. She kissed me on the cheek
Personally, I don't
too.
like to think
She's a
much
kisser,
about
man.
The results, I just come in, I play, and hope for the best. Yeah, but after the first day, we played Kingwin and VGJ.
Oh, is this why people were spamming Neslo?
So
He-
we did pretty well.
he
on
does
Thursday,
kinda
so
look
it
like
gave us a lot
Neslo.
of confidence, and then we had 2 days off in between, which was pretty nice. Usually, you don't have any time off during.
Sam's a
tournaments,
Dota player
so we
lover.
just kind of chilled for 2 days.
She
We
doesn't know
played
any
a
of the
couple
Dota players. She says, I'm like, oh, it's a Dota player, and then she says, is it the hot one? Obviously talking about Zai, and if it's not the hot one, she has no idea who it is because that's the only one she knows.
But mostly we just had some break.
That's such a sick shot.
Today was day 1 of Star Ladder, the group stage. We're in Group A, so we played today. We went 2-1 against Kingwin, and then 2-0 against Vici Thunder. I don't know, one of the Vichis, right? The Chinese team. And yeah, so that means we're first place in our groups, which means we're guaranteed in the playoffs. We have the next 2 days off, and we'll be we're getting DPC points. We're on the board.
Might be no traffic tonight because it's Sunday.
Stop counting the pops, guys. Next person who says pop, banned for life. Blocked on Twitter.
Yeah. My nerves are weird. It's off and on. I've said before, like, I wasn't nervous at TI on like the big stage in front of everybody, but when I was at the summit where there was not even a crowd, I was like super anxious, where it was like actually physically affecting me. So I wasn't nervous at all for the Star Ladder tournament, which was nice. I'm in a good place right now, and I think we're in a good place as a team where we don't really suffer from pressure because everybody knows that everybody on this team is just trying to do their best, and everybody wants to win as much as the guy next to him. So
I didn't tell him
nobody
that.
is purposely underperforming to we're all just doing our best.
I get super nervous. It's kind of uncontrollable. It's not like I'm not mentally nervous, but my hands get super cold, my feet get really cold and sweaty, and I like shake and I have to use the bathroom all the time. It's like it's super super miserable and I can't control it. So you know it's getting very slowly better over time as you play more and more, but it still happens very often. I'm sure whenever we play these qualifiers in a couple of days, you know, as the qualifier, you know, today as the qualifier starts approaching, our hands are gonna get freaking cold. It's gonna be miserable. We were very very outdrafted the first game, but we clung on for quite a long period of time. Didn't really end the game for a while, and so the game ended up going very long. We held in our base and kind of clung on for dear life. There were a couple of opportunities where we had a like chance to kind of come back, but it was a very hard game to win. That game went like over an hour or something. And then the next two games, we were much more comfortable with our drafts. We had the chance to play from even footing or being ahead.
Sorry guys, I was getting some water.
Won pretty decisively
back now.
the next two games. And we felt pretty good. Like we didn't feel like we were playing super poorly in these games. The first game we lost, we knew it was because of draft. So, you know, we felt pretty comfortable going into the finals. Got to chill a bit. And then, you know, game one was sort of the same story against VGJ. We weren't, you know, super outdrafted, but we were playing against Terrorblade, who's just really obnoxious to beat. And so the game was going very, very long and we lose in the end. And then, you know, sort of the same story as the Fnatic game. The next several games, we're much more comfortable with our drafts.
Dude, Hypok's fucking hilarious.
Which was, you know, it's always fun whenever he plays some Visage and Brood and stomps games by himself. So yeah, we're much more comfortable with our drafts the next few games, and you know, we just kind of played Dota. It was fun.
Who
By
told
the
on
last
me?
Game, I think they were kind of tilted.
Somebody in Sam's stream told on me. I'm gonna find out who it is.
Got to run over. They're feeding kills all over the place. So you know, it's one of those scenarios
find
where
out.
you kind of know you've won in like the middle of the game, and it's you know,
I'm gonna mail you a Big Mac.
You kind of walk around.
You're gonna open it.
And then,
it's gonna be
kill some heroes, and then you like
can't even eat it because I mailed it to you. So it's gross now. Bitch, take that. Millsy, of course it was fucking Millsy. Yes! Dude, they're so funny. Now that's a Dota squad right there, boys.
We kind of just got to play against some other teams that were trying to prove themselves, and we were kind of the favorites, which was a weird feeling because for the entire season we've been this underdogs, underperforming. Oh, they got good players, but
who's the lady?
You know, something's just
Ashley.
not right yet. But we
Keep it in your pants,
we ended
man.
up winning, which was a very satisfying
No, you're like the entire
and relief kind of a feeling because it's weird being the favorites. It's a lot of pressure. But I'm glad that we were able to focus up and get the job done and keep ourselves on track towards qualifying to the next international.
It's the best, bow! The best spike in history. Look at this shit. Like, wow! That's some touchdown type spikes. Dude, Roger and I's style is so different.
Season 1 was non-existent. There were a lot of internal problems that people don't see because obviously we don't stream anymore or upload videos.
Roger did these lower thirds though.
There have been
Crushed
internal
it.
problems on our team for a long fucking time, and people don't know that, so they find one of us to blame. And it's like, you don't know our team. You don't know our team anymore. Like, you don't see anything from our team. You don't see scrims. You don't see any practice. You see no uploads of like anything related to our team. So the fact that people think they know more about the team than they really do is pretty aggravating to us because
Codburner doesn't even know this stuff.
we wouldn't break up our team if we didn't have to. It's never been an issue of skill. It's like, it's just
Codburner doesn't even know this
bullshit
stuff.
that we like go through. It's never been an issue of skill.
Our team had issues ever since we lost Black Ops 3 champs, and throughout the entire year of IW,
We were just so good individually.
pretty much the winning events, winning tournaments, like cured that internal like struggle.
If you're winning like 1 out of 3 events, I'd say like you're still in pretty good spirits.
Yeah.
I mean,
how crazy is it?
You want to win all of them, but like
this team was so fucking good. They didn't even like each other. And they were shitting on everybody. I'm glad that they finally told people, man. Do you know how difficult that shit was? You and Maniac are cool, but you'll never be T2P. Like, imagine being me. Like, what am I supposed to say to that? Oh, little do you fucking know.
that one win cures that like bad vibe on a team for at least a couple of events. And with this game, like ever since the start, we went into Dallas expecting to win. We were like the best team online by far going into that event. We got 3rd. We got 0-6 on Sunday, so that was
it's not shots fired.
So
Come
NOLA,
on.
we then go into that. Get
I love
12.
both of them.
Then
I
moving
love all
on to
4
Atlanta,
of them.
we got top 6. So it's like that's the 3 event window gone.
It's the same thing that I said with the Gears team. It's like the only reason that people, the only reason to not, I mean, unless you just meet somebody and you're like, fuck that guy. The only way you like can actually build like a strong disliking to somebody is if you hang out with them too much. And these guys play 8 hours a day for 3 years. Like, shit's bound to happen. For me, I see them every once in a while, and it's a fucking party. I'm like, yo, Seth, what's good, brother? Are you skinny this time, or are you jacked? You know? I see formal. I'm like, yo, what hat is that? Oh, same hat? You know what I mean? Like... I don't know.
We didn't even come close to winning an event, so it's like at that point, the vibe and chemistry.
So I'm friends. I'm
done.
friends
the
with
only
everybody.
team holding our team together was winning.
Before anybody asks, because now I feel like since this shit happened, they're gonna be like, "Wait, who actually likes each other?" Hex and Hitch, they never even settled their differences. They're still pissed off at each other, aren't they?
You guys heard the conversations that were going on, or like the internal problems, or the arguments, and how they weren't arguments about the game.
I have not been drinking.
They were like personal arguments, like I hate you because of this. I hate you because you do this. I feel like I'm really good at this game, and I feel like the last 2 to 3 years I've just been above average.
What a first world
I was
prob.
like really excited to play this game. Really excited to.
I hate you because you don't get on at 6. I hate you because you want me to get on at 6. Obviously, it's serious business. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, but just imagine telling somebody, like in a third world country, like, I hate that guy. It's like, why? Because he didn't get on his Xbox when I wanted him to. All right, sorry. I'm just going to watch now. I feel like I'm pausing too much.
My motivation was like through the roof because...
I'm not even talking about it. I'm just making terrible jokes.
On the team, I thought Damon was fucking incredible at that game. This game suits me. Like, I'm really good at this game. Let's win. I want to be amazing. And then pretty much every single day for the past 6 months in terms of practice was just like bickering, like pointless bickering where literally if someone just was the bigger man and like they stepped up and just like dealt with someone's BS, it like problems would have been solved, but no one wanted to do it. And I mean, there was so many issues, like you guys saw in the other vision where I pretty much went on a rant saying we need to practice, we need to do all this stuff, and guess what? Like no one got on, like still, no one wanted to play, no one wanted to practice, and right then and there, I knew that it changes were gonna happen.
Like, to think that I went into this interview gonna be like, I was trying to drive this interview as we've made a team change, but we made a team change, and I would like to talk about how wonderful it was being on the second largest or longest lasting esports team of all time and getting 18 championships together and making millions of dollars. They were like, we don't like each other anymore. And I was like, no, let's go this way. The fans would like it if, you know what I mean?
Eventually. The internal vibes.
I was literally listening to them and I
be.
was like, oh, shit. What
The
am I going
amount
to do
of
with
time that
this?
we spent together as a team was non-existent. We actually just made a joke, and it wasn't a joke, it was a sad truth that it wasn't until 2 days ago that we all sat down for a dinner as a team. Okay, the new team. That dinner that we had 2 days ago was the first time that OpTic Gaming Call of Duty sat down to have dinner together in the last 2 years.
It's almost like an ego shit. Like, it was just like people thought that, you know, we could just go to the events and, you know, not go over S&D. Like that.
We didn't go over S&D once this whole game.
Yeah,
we used to go over
it was
S&D
terrible.
before
It was
every
always
single
terrible.
event the past couple of years. We didn't go over it once this
And
whole
I kept trying to get everyone to get on and go over it, but then every
Seth,
single time,
give some
like,
subs
you
to me
included, like,
with Hex's
people
account.
just have like a BS excuse. Me and Seth would
We'd be
show,
there Wednesday, ready to practice, and then wouldn't practice. We'd have a scrim set up, wouldn't practice.
Yeah.
Excuse.
People wouldn't show up for headshots.
It's like shit like that.
And
It's-
interviews, and pretty much.
It's just annoying.
Pretty much
It's
what
like,
happened.
why am I even here early?
We scrim with TP.
Yeah,
I'm going
we
to
played-
Disney
it was
tomorrow.
scrimmed with TP
Seth,
one of
I
them.
can't.
Damon Seth.
Got fucking obliterated.
When we
And
get back,
scrimmed
though,
the pro team.
if
with
you're still
TP.
if you're still here.
And it was like, and then I think we actually played with Nameless too.
Yep.
Yeah, we played.
We scrimmed with Nameless.
What's up, Brad?
before
You beautiful
Seattle.
biscuit.
Like sitting down on Thursday, we're about to go in and play the next day, and we were playing with other people.
Bro, I didn't even know that. One day, I was hanging out with it was just me and Teep, and Teep was like, I guess he like didn't understand that, like he was just talking to all the guys the same because they all know what's going on, and I just get there on events, so I don't know their practice schedule or anything. And he just looks at me one time and he's like, "Why the fuck am I playing?" And I looked at him, I was like, I don't know what. And then I hear them say that in the interview, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense now.
Because people wouldn't show up. That's not even an internal issue. That's a fucking personal issue.
It just comes down. It just comes down to respecting your teammates and like wanting to win, like as a team and for each other. At a point in our team's history, there was just a point where that just fell through.
Yeah.
We weren't friends anymore. We were literally business associates trying to win money for ourselves and just using each other for our talent.
So
I
we
literally
had
remember
someone
when it
lagging.
happened. I was like,
We had
fuck.
someone that wanted to leave our team and team with someone else, and then we had someone that didn't like the game at all. And
what are you gonna do?
And then right there, all three of those at the same time, pretty much it was just a mess, and everyone didn't want to like fix their own problem.
Brad, imagine going to an event and like Nick just came to hang out and you were like, yo, can we scrim with you?
Everyone else wanted to point fingers. You know,
I'm not
other
saying
people
Nick
and
is a
say,
coach,
that's why
but
we're losing.
you know what I
That's
mean?
why we're losing. No one wanted to do this, right? So it like me being like the neutral party and all that. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like, and this is the crazy thing, right? Is I feel like every single one of those problems was easily fixable. I think it was easily fixable. I think that, you know, the fact that the team has like come to this is just ridiculous, but everyone want to do their own thing basically.
And to touch on my lagging note, there was like a period in the year where I wasn't lagging. We had like a month of good practice before, I forget what it was. It might have been before the Birmingham stretch, I think it was. I think before Birmingham, my internet was fine. So I wasn't lagging the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is like the common misconception that people have.
I feel like even when like you would get on time, you would be there for scrims.
I'd get on, I'd be vibey,
Yeah,
I'd be
you
ready
would,
to go.
yeah.
Despite lagging, I'd get on, try to have a good time, and then I get fucking black hole vacuum suck vibe right out of me. And I'm like, well, this is a great time. This is so much fun.
And I'm just
no
sitting
one's
here,
calling out.
and I'm just sitting here like,
sometimes me included in that, but like
I'm just
no
like
one's
sitting
calling
here
out.
like,
Everyone's bitching.
like here we go again, man. I just feel like, you know,
That has to be a terrible
Reddit,
environment.
Twitter, everyone's blaming Seth for all these issues, right? I think everyone is at fault. And I think like Seth, like I'm sitting here today with Seth, right? I'm not sitting here today with Damon or Matt. That's my personal opinion from being like,
Bro,
the neutral
Ian, when
party
you
and all
said
this.
that, I
It's
was
like, obviously your internet sucked, but you know, your heart was there. You wanted to play.
Look how happy he is. Hold on. How did I never notice this? Ian says, Ian says, I'm here with Seth. I'm not here with Damon or Matt. And Seth goes,
obviously your internet sucked, but your heart was there. You wanted to play. You wanted to win. You showed up for practice.
I never noticed that.
Twitter, everyone's blaming Seth for all this issues, right? I think everyone is at fault. And I think like Seth, like I'm sitting here today with Seth, right? I'm not sitting here today with Damon or Matt. That's my personal opinion from being like the neutral party and all this.
You can see it coming.
Like, obviously
here
your
it comes.
Sucked, but your heart was there. You wanted to play. You wanted to win. You showed up for practice. You have the skill. You have the potential, right? If anyone's gonna improve the most in these next like 3 months, out of anyone on any team, it's gonna be Seth.
Seth was ready to kiss him.
I got a business line getting installed as we speak.
At the end of the day, I'm sitting here with Seth. I'm not sitting here with anyone else. So that right there should tell you enough.
Half a gig. 500. Spending $400 on internet so I can fucking practice.
Dude, just shout out their company at this point. Bro.
Cox Cable. You guys suck ass. Hopefully your business internet's good. Jesus Christ, bro.
All right. Welcome to OpTic.
Welcome to your crash course.
So, how are you guys doing?
That's the best you got.
Are you kidding me? How can I answer that? I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here.
All right. This is probably a good time to explain everything. So, I don't know if you guys remember, but I tweeted out two really hype tweets. One was this next vision is going to be the best vision ever made or something like that. And then I tweeted this out, the chair and the 4 on it. So I talked about a little bit about this in my the beginning of the stream, but we're going to talk about it on Twitter or for YouTube. When I tweeted that out, the original idea of what was going to happen in Vision got pitched to me, and I was like, oh my God, everything is amazing. So we were going to have 3 different chair shots using the same set. It was, more or less the set I ended up using. One of them was going to be Kenny sitting down in it because he's retiring, or he got dropped. And then the next one was going to be Damon sitting down in it. What's up, Methods? The double chin isn't great. So the next one, the next one was gonna be me. Dude, we have the whole squad in here. I can't even like concentrate. So the next person was gonna be Damon because at the time, or this is how it got pitched to me, is that he was gonna no longer be on OpTic, and Formal at the time had already joined another team, so it wouldn't really make sense for him to sit down. And then at the very end, I was gonna sit down, and then at the very end, I was gonna. It was also gonna be prepared because at the time when I got pitched this, Reddit was freaking out and Twitter was freaking out that OpTic was getting out of Call of Duty. So we were going to have Seth and Ian get rid of all the OpTic shit in their bio. And so everyone would have thought we were in getting out of Call of Duty. And we would have done exit interviews with, or we wouldn't even done interviews with Seth and Ian, just one with Damon. And then at the very end, when I'm giving my, this is going to be my last vision, we would have ended it on a high note, and we would have said, or I would have said, but just so you know, just because I'm leaving doesn't mean Vision is going to change. We're still going to have the same old faces. And then Seth and Ian would walk up, and everybody at this point thinks we're out of Call of Duty. And then I was going to say, and also, typical Greenwall style, we're going to be able to invite new people into the family. And then that's when Octane and Selected Fourth, you guys probably know who it is, I just don't want to say it, was going to walk up. And at the time, nobody knew it was going to happen, and everybody would have gone nuts. And then I would have like said something, which I would have probably ended up telling Hex to do it because he would have been better. But then it would have been like, you know, a lot like peaks and valleys has always been something that, you know, has been a constant theme throughout Vision. And why should it stop now? We've been in a valley. Let's, you know, peak. Let's peak now. And then it would have like panned out, and one by one, it would have been everybody in OpTic in the back. And it would have been like, why is everybody laughing? Did I miss a joke? I don't know why you're laughing. Oh, good, boys. No issues on my end. Well, Methods could have. I'm saying there were 3 different options. It could have been any of them. That wasn't a shot at Methods. It was just when it got pitched to me, it wasn't Methods. But then Methods DM'd me and he was like, "We in here," and I was like, "Swimwear." Did you see the pic Jack Instagrammed? Nah. Is it the one of me holding your crotch? Oh, Seth, thanks for subscribing to me. So then it would have panned out, and it would have been the entire, you know, the entire content team, Big T, Pterodactyl. We wanted one person from each team. So we were talking to Rahman, and we were talking to Mendo. Here, YouTube. That's what Seth's talking about. Hope I don't get demonetized now. Literally like everybody, and they were gonna all be there. And then it was gonna end basically as like yo, shit has been going down. Let's not pretend it hasn't been, but this Vision is an opportunity to say that we still have it in us to give you surprises and to give you awesome stuff, and we can all still be a family, basically was the vibe. And then it would have ended, and then instead of the music playing, Roger behind the camera would have been like, he would have said, all right, that's a wrap. And then everybody would have left. And as everybody's leaving, Damon is sitting in a chair in the back, and then he would have been like, wait, so when do I tell him that I'm staying? Do. And then it would have ended. And if that would have happened, like Vision would have been in movie theaters. But so that is why I tweeted all of that at the time. And then everything changed. Contracts, everything on all levels. And so it got to a point where Hex and I were like, what the fuck are we gonna do now? Because now I've hyped up a Vision to be the best Vision of all time because I'm an idiot. And now we have nothing. I wasn't even planning on interviewing these guys because it was supposed to be a big reveal at the end, and then fucking silly, I'm on the stream, I'm gonna let everybody, hey guys, I'm silly. Just kidding. He DM'd me, he apologized. I was like, don't worry about it. And so then I was like, I don't know what the hell to do. So I just sat 2 chairs down, and I was like, all right guys, sit down. So that's why I'm like, welcome to OpTic. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's genuine. I'm genuine. I mean, being kind of goofy, but it is genuine. Like, I have no idea what I'm going to even ask these guys. And I don't know where I don't even know if I'm going to put it in Vision. So then after all of this, and then we find out later, I put off doing Damon's interview every single day because he hasn't figured everything out legally. And it gets to a point where I'm like, yo, I have 7 hours to edit this, and we haven't done my interview or Hex's interview. And those are pretty much the 2 biggest interviews in this thing, besides we had already done Seth and Ian's. So I didn't press silly for an apology. I thought it was funny. Because it's not like a news organization. Like when ESPN leaked the CS roster, I was pissed. But like if like you can't, I can't, I would be so stupid if I thought that COD pros were going to keep their mouth shut when they find out as soon as one COD pro figures out a roster, it's a wrap. So then that's why I was just like, I'm just going to interview you guys. I don't know how it's going to go down, but everybody knew this was the team anyway. So, and then I basically just banked on, I didn't know, because I was going to try to end it happy with Damon, but now there's no happy ending. It's just me saying I'm leaving. So then I was like, I kind of have to bullshit something. So I have to make a montage of all of Vision, but then the Call of Duty part was so negative that I was like, I kind of have to bullshit something there too to make it seem like, to make it positive. So then I made 2 montages in 2 hours. Dude, I put my work in for this last Vision. I really did.
My name is Anthony. Some people call me Zuni because my last name. Some people say Method.
I don't know if any of you guys were listening, but...
And I've been playing for a
shit
while.
was intense.
If you followed OpTic back to like MW3 era, you probably know my name because I was really good friends with Scump, Nate, and Hector. Those 3 were really helpful in my come up and just making a name for myself and really developing as not only a player but just the way I carried myself. Like for example, if I tweeted something stupid, one of them would text me like delete that, and I think not many people have that come up really. The fact that like me and Seth were so close coming up, the fact that we're teammates now is sort of insane. I won my first major championship less than 2 months ago, and I was at a team called Rise Nation. We had like a pretty dominant run where we didn't lose a series on LAN for 2 months.
Fucking blacklist.
And for the most part, I've been considered a top AR in the game. And the event I won, MLG Atlanta or CWL Atlanta, I actually won MVP too. So like, so many dreams like came true within like these past 3 months. Like I won an event, I won an MVP, I'm on OpTic Gaming. I feel like it's only up from here.
I'm Sam or Octane, as most of you guys know. Compared to him, I didn't have that connection when I went pro. He was the one, like he mentioned before, that actually...
I sunned him.
He sunned me.
I DM'd him like, you want to join my team? And he was like, oh my god, no way, are you serious? And like, that's right. I brought you up, and then...
Then you hard cost.
Then I chose to go to prom over going X Games, which was a horrible mistake. And it will never be repeated ever. But now we're back.
It's neither here nor there.
But now we're back.
Zinni made me a pro. In terms for this year, we won Birmingham on LG with Cap John and Jerry. A lot of people don't understand why I made the decision that I made. And they disagree with me a lot from social media and things that I've seen. They think that me leaving LG because we've been arguably the best team this year is just a stupid decision. So I joined OpTic Gaming because it's not a position that you really pass up. It's not an opportunity that comes along too often. And when we started, or like the idea was planted, it was going to be me, Seth, and Ian. And
guys, did Method start the blackout before Hex did?
the 4th was to be announced, or like we were going to figure it out because there was a lot of contractual obligations that certain players that we wanted had. Organizations were getting in the way. It's called in politics.
I wasn't the first choice, but I'm not a bad choice. Is what he's saying.
You also weren't the second choice.
But I was the third choice. I was the third choice, and I'm fine with it.
Because I feel like they were both kind of nervous, and when Sam said that, I was like, thank God. Thank God, dude.
Yeah, I got no issue with it.
Me, Seth, and Ian.
Because they're both hilarious.
For a while, and I left my team because...
Who keeps breaking into your apartment? I don't know,
This is literally the opportunity that I've been waiting for since I went pro. UMG St. Louis Black Ops 2, my first ever event. Like, this is the point that I saw myself at when I sat down at my first station. Like, giving this interview, like, talking to you guys, explaining why I'm on this team, and having the opportunity to win events.
Bro, the people that are talking shit about Methods are the same one that are about to watch every single video that Methods is in because he's
really
fucking hilarious.
You guys that well.
I guarantee it.
A hell of a lot to me, personally.
Same.
And I really do think that you guys are going to be proud.
I know there's going to take a lot of doubt, especially when 2 players that are of that stature going different ways, and 2 new players, 2 new faces coming in. I think we get that. I think the players get that. I think everybody gets that. But I think the only thing we can do is win you guys championships, and that's the goal. I promise you guys that you guys are going to see content, you're going to see hard work, but at the end of the day, we want to win, and that's the goal. And if we don't do that, we failed.
Well said.
That's it.
I think I kind of crushed this one. For the amount of time I had.
3rd day of playing, already won a tournament. I'm gonna go do something.
Is Ian still in here?
Dude, you even got shoes on. You're gonna get hypothermia. What's going on?
Ian, what was the first thing that came into your mind when you saw this?
Okay.
Ian's thinking he's getting all reckless this Vision. telling the people how it is.
And that's the goal. And if we don't do that, we failed.
He's like, I'm gonna tell you everything that went wrong with the team and how I was perfect the whole time. And I hit him with the, really? Or are you gonna be standing in the kitchen looking like this? Oh shit, get fucked.
What's up, guys? Just joined OpTic Gaming. 3rd day of playing. Already won a tournament. I'm gonna go do Snow Angels.
Dude, you even got shoes on. You're gonna get hypothermia. Slow down. Go under the light where they can see you, man. Okay, well, I don't think they can see that.
You could argue the 1-point play, much safer option at this point. Last 43 seconds. Formal definitely trying to get some support. He's actually passed that to Crib. Yep. And Crib, can he try and get it? Scrum to support. This could be a killer play. OpTic Gaming goes to the lead. 30 seconds.
Ian, be real with me. Seth in here? Seth, be real with me. Formal's not in here anymore. Damn. He bailed when it got to COD. When you saw this, did you think, man, we used to be really good friends? Because that was the point. I should have put the Matthias, you fucking sexy man. I should have put that in there. And I didn't think about that until right this second. You know, Ian was watching this like, oh, I killed that first interview. I did so good. People are gonna choose my side now. And then I hit him with this, and he goes, that's what I was going for. This is at least how I
one kill right there, and he's gonna be able to get out.
He's challenging. He's ready.
You see me drop the music right here?
He's gonna be able to kill him. Here, I'll get eyes on with J-Cap. Stay on with
Crib is a monster.
What's up, guys? Karma. I'm the new guy in town. You didn't know. Nate Shot stepped down.
well, they've got a couple kills. They are so close to putting pressure into the base space. We've got them spawning out of green. They've got to get forward, trying to control the base.
Informal to me has been one of the most exciting players to watch, but for me it was more emotional because I had the opportunity, the honor, and the opportunity to work with that caliber of a player. It's been a true honor and pleasure to see him represent OpTic the way that dude's a true professional. And I personally, aside from maybe missed media times or that, there's nothing negative that I can say about Matt.
Across mid-map, and they might get caught. They might get caught from behind. But up there's the spoken one. Looking for a second one. There's both, third, fourth, in water. Maybe the ace is coming in. There's three. Naga, we're coming. Pull the snipe back out.
It just shows how well if we communicate our pitch together. Look at this scoreline. More than anything, I think again with the Tempest, able to pick up 3 big kills.
Fuck, man, I'm gonna miss this fucking team, dude.
Don't trust it. Just leave him alone.
If you are a player not watching what the Tempest does, well, it's gonna be hard now because they have.
Bro, these guys were a team before I joined OpTic. Think about that.
Going to be able to get Bracini.
Before I was in OpTic.
Gets fully streaked out. OpTic Gaming running through E-United here. Game 5, 1 round away from a 6-0 victory and another championship.
Let's go!
At the end of the day, we're going to be brothers, and I think that's how, this team eventually got to the point where we were.
Yo, Ian, if you're still in the chat, it's funny because Because I figured you guys' interview was going to piss both of them off. And I didn't want to feel like the bad guy. So I made sure your interview was first. And then I threw that shit in second. And when you guys did the interview, that's when Formal tweeted the, yo, get me on the podcast. And I don't know if this is true. I doubt it is because it's Formal. But in my head, I like to think he would be like, you know, maybe I don't want to go on the podcast. You know, maybe it was just a good run. And I'll always remember that. I don't know. That's just how I view
brothers,
it.
Big brothers, little brothers, always arguing, bickering, fighting. It just got to the point where we were just so comfortable with each other that it wasn't good in a professional environment. But
he backed out of it
at the end of the day. Like, this
it
run
worked.
Was insane. This run was insane. 3.5 years.
Maybe
of just nothing but wins. A couple heartbreaks, but it was good.
Dude, I guarantee you they already miss each other. All four of them.
For me to talk on it.
After all that bullshit.
I think that I hate Matt, hate Damon. I don't hate either of them. I love both of them. Honestly, as people, they're awesome people. And
I very rarely cut the music.
As teammates and
when there's
professionals,
interviews,
like I said, we sort of just drifted apart. And I think that was like the biggest
makes sense
thing.
for this one.
That, like Ian said, we got very comfortable with each other. And moving into a professional environment like that, like the drive just isn't there. Like no one's stepping up being the leader besides Ian at times, but like we just got way too comfortable with each other, and it ended up being like a bad thing that we were such good friends at one point.
Yep.
Because we were really good friends at one point, and then at one point it was obviously on the opposite side. But I love both of them as people. I wish them luck. Obviously, we're going to want to beat them if we play them on separate teams, but I wish both of them luck. I like Ian said, it will be pretty tense for the next couple of events, but hopefully we can all grow past that.
Lots of really good times.
No, yeah, we had a lot of good times, but yeah.
I think the good outweighed the bad by, we lost, 2 out of 3
well,
champs?
The good was
2 out of 3 champs?
The good was for 3 years. We had 3 solid years, besides the champs at the end of the first and second. But
I think it was all worth it. I think the moral of our team, like as fans, I think it would have been crazy to watch. If you watch all those 3 years, you pretty much saw like wins and then a heartbreak, and then wins and then a heartbreak, and then wins and then the big one, the one that we like
finally needed
to like cement this team in history, and we finally got it. And honestly, if fans watching this, I want you guys to take away that like this team was like perseverance. Like we pushed through the hard times, and we eventually,
and there were a lot. We had like a hard period in every game.
Yeah, we eventually hit that goal that we set out as a team.
It's kind of like when Rambo retired.
Right when we hit that goal, we were all like the happiest kids on the
Damon didn't retire, so
yeah.
Because Rambo retired, and people were like, "Nah, he's still got some play in him."
I would say winning that second world championship was much better, or much more satisfying than the first.
I mean, yeah, you guys blew the first one over. They weren't even comp.
Yeah.
But yeah, good run.
Excited for the future, though.
Excited for the future.
Imagine. Oh, holy shit. That should just. That's like, if you guys have never watched like my. I forgot this was in the video. If you guys have never watched my like any of my old school vlogs, or like my it was like my old school videos, or like my 100K video, for anything that was like important, or if I ever got deep, or if I ever talked about really important shit, I always played this song in my vlogs. So that's why I was like, I don't know how to do this part. And then I thought, like, what better way, I guess. Now I totally forgot what I was just gonna say. Oh, imagine Damon is they sign him as content, and then there's just 5 OpTic players. One of them happens 2 of them happen to be the best. 3 of them actually happen to be the best Black Ops players in history. She's gonna have to throw Octane and Methods into like a ring, punch it out. Who wants the last spot? Imagine it could happen. Who knows? I don't know. See, and I know I'm stopping a lot, but this is really, 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 really important to me. This entire video. So when the Kenny thing and the Damon thing fell through, I've been feeling like super guilty because I've been making the chair out to be this huge thing, like this huge deal, because it was going to be a 3-part thing and nobody was going to expect me to sit in it. But now I look like an arrogant cockhead because I made the entire realm of this, the entire theme of this vision around a chair, and I'm the only one that sits in it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. With my paint pants. I'm never leaving OpTic, man. Nobody can make me.
Oh, fuck, how am I still gonna start this? Okay. I don't know if I necessarily have one particular day that I can say was like the best day of my life. I probably have a collection, a bunch of different days that could definitely qualify. But I can say that every single one of those potential days came in the last 3 years. You know, if you think back on it, it's like the day the Edit My Life video came out, the day Crossroads came out, Eat the Banana even, the Modern Warfare 2 throwback tournament. Like there's so many things that have happened in my life that have directly been possible because of OpTic and because of the Green Wall and because of Vision. And so it's really weird. It's kind of crazy to sit in this chair right now and to say that this video, this vision, it's gonna be my last one. It's gonna be the last one that I edit and produce and do everything for. I will say that doesn't mean I'm going anywhere. I'm not leaving OpTic. You're still gonna see me around. You're still gonna see me in videos. I'm still gonna be the videographer for the Call of Duty team. But basically, to be as transparent as possible, a lot of what made Vision and made it special and made it possible even, it doesn't exist anymore. And it's not even really, it's almost impossible to make the visions that we used to.
Just look at this, man.
I feel like Vision was kind of created around the morals and the culture of what OpTic has always been. You know, you get to follow your favorite players and your favorite creators and your favorite
Dude, I was making Vision. Look, guys. This camera was my good camera. This camera was my good camera. Like, when I got this camera, I freaked out. I was like, yes, this is the best camera ever. Look at the quality difference between this
favorite players and your favorite
and that. How did I do it?
Creators and your favorite people in one organization, you get to follow them through life, basically. As things have kind of changed and everything, I'm not as direct a part of that as I used to. We all used to live together. There used to be 2 houses right down the street from each other. I would drive back and forth, and that was what Vision basically was. And a lot of things have changed, and a lot of things are different, and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. but it just doesn't make it as possible for me anymore. So you know, for my own mental sanity and for the sanity of others that you know are starting to depend on this show and depend on different things that I don't even think is possible anymore. I think it's time to take a step back and you know and have this finale of the 4th season of this amazing, life-changing show be the final one for me. Again, Vision's not going anywhere. You know, we got an amazing guy working on it. You guys probably all know Roger, and we're gonna have more videographers, more people working on it, more hands on deck, and it should be an amazing product. I'm super excited to kind of sit back and enjoy it and to watch it and to watch what happens with OpTic and how that's going to be, you know, displayed through Vision, because that's kind of how Hex and I started this whole thing, is having a show be the soul of an org. It's never happened before. There's been a show, there's been people that have followed around teams, and there's been you know, shows based on different individuals, but there's never been anything quite like Vision, and that's why it will always be so dear and close to my heart. So it is my choice to step back and to you know, to see what happens with Vision as myself and Aaron no longer co-producing it, and it also opens up endless possibilities for what I can work on, you know, personally. There's a lot of projects that I've always wanted to work on, and I've always wanted to dedicate, you know, months or years to and put my 110% in, and I'm really excited to start that, and I hope you guys are too. You know, just because I'm not going to be doing this one particular series doesn't mean that I'm going to stop making content and stop putting, you know, all of my effort into things that I think the Green Wall would like to see, or people in esports would like to see, and I'm really excited of what the future could bring with that. Finally, some thanks are in order. You know, none of this would be possible without Hex and this insane brand that he was able to. It's not even a brand, it's like a lifestyle. It's a culture, it's a family, and without that, none of this would even be possible. And you know, Aaron for always being there in late night Skype calls while we're trying to grind these out every night, and last, you know, I'm missing 100 million people that I can't name all by name, but all of you guys watching this, you know, it's I said it when I got on stage at that award show. There's not a better fan base in the entire world than the OpTic fans and the Green Wall. You know, you guys get a little crazy sometimes, but we all are a little crazy sometimes. So that's what makes us family. And thank you. I'll never be able to repay you for this. It's changed my life forever.
You hear that? Yeah. Pitch with the right everything.
Don't worry, we got
Fuck, man. Wow. Thank you guys. Cry for clickbait. It's been so much fun, man. Fuck. I'm gonna miss that, man. Thank you guys so much, everybody. I'm gonna end the YouTube video now. I paused it like 900 times, and it's an hour-long video, so it's probably a 2-hour-long upload or something. Thank you guys so much for this. This is why I came into OpTic, and you know, unfortunately, it's that has run its course, and I'm being moved on to other things. But I promise you, I'm going to try my hardest, and I will not let you guys down when it comes to content and when it comes to personal projects. I promise you guys. Thank you so much. You don't have to like the video. Please just don't dislike. You don't have to subscribe. Please just don't unsubscribe. My name is Hitch. Another day, another video. We'll see you next time. Peace. If this is your first time in a gang chat, the biggest thing about being a member of the gang is that you have to be chivalrous. We have to